So, you want to increase your sexual desire tonight? I'm Danita Bremer, and I'm a certified life coach through the Life Coach School. Let's do it. I know you love your husband. I know you've had enjoyable sex in the past. But since then, life has just gotten in the way, and you just don't want to have sex anymore. You know that sex is an important part of marriage. Your husband feels like you're constantly rejecting him, and you hate that. You want desperately to solve this problem so that your marriage can be stronger and you and your husband can be happier. I know how you feel because I was there. The tool I'm about to teach you in this video I've used in my own sex life, and I know it can help you. But first, I want to tell you that nothing has gone wrong and you are perfectly normal. If you stick with me for the rest of this video, I'll show you why you don't want to have sex right now and what to do about it. If you're anything like me, when you think of sex, you feel pressure. Either you've been counting the days since the last time you had sex, or your husband hints or initiates, and then you feel this special kind of marital peer pressure, right? Then you have two choices. You can blow him off for another night, or you can say yes. If you blow him off, you feel guilty. And if you say yes, you likely feel resentful because you don't actually want to have sex, you're just doing it for him. Now, here's what's going on in your brain. Your brain's job is to protect you and keep you alive. It used to look like running from tigers and lions, but nowadays it looks like running from negative emotion. So when you think about sex, you feel pressure, guilt, or resentment, or any other negative emotion, your brain thinks something has gone wrong and it needs to protect you. It tries to get you away from sex. This is why you don't want to have sex. So of course you don't want to have sex, because your brain is doing its job. Now, you might have tried some things to fix these feelings. You might have tried scheduling sex or spicing things up in the bedroom. These are actions, and they might work temporarily, but they rarely work permanently because they require the use of willpower. They don't address your underlying feelings, which are pressure, guilt, and resentment. So it's always just a band-aid fix to work on your actions. You have to address the underlying feelings to be able to drive your action. The other thing you might have heard of is wanting to want sex. And here's the thing, you're there already. You clicked on this video. You want to increase your sexual desire. It hasn't worked for you yet. On the one hand, you don't want sex at all, and on the other hand, you want to want sex. You can tell by whether or not you actually want sex which one is winning, right? Your true feeling is that you don't want sex, and that's okay. That's what we're here to solve. Okay, so now you know why you don't want to have sex right now, and you know why trying to change your actions or your feelings doesn't work. So let's talk about the real solution. In order to change your desire, you have to address where your desire comes from. It doesn't come from your husband, it doesn't come from sex, and it doesn't just happen to you. It comes from your thoughts and your beliefs. Here are some of the things you might be thinking or believing. First of all, sex is an important part of marriage, but you might also be thinking, he's going to want sex. I should want to have sex more often. He only wants me for sex, or if I don't have sex with him, he'll watch porn or divorce me. The list could go on, but if you create a list of what you're thinking about sex, you'll see why you feel the pressure, the guilt or shame, the resentment, or any other negative emotion. So what do we do about this? There's two things that we can do. The first one is just to change our thoughts or our beliefs. The problem with this is that it takes a lot of time and energy to do this. This work is most effective by working with a coach. But if you want to try this route on your own, I encourage you to think about a time when your desire was higher, maybe when you were dating or you were newlywed. What were you thinking then, and can you practice thinking those thoughts now? Your brain is going to want to go back to the thoughts that you're thinking right now, right? Because it's practiced them so often. So every time you have one of those thoughts, like, he just wants me for sex, you have to redirect it to no and think the new thought. Secondly, a much simpler solution: acceptance. When you can accept yourself, your desire, and your relationship exactly the way it is, it will solve for all those negative emotions. Think about it. Pressure comes from trying to change who you are or what you do. And when you accept yourself, you know that exactly the way you are is perfectly fine. Guilt comes from those thoughts that you should be different. You should want sex more often. You should have sex more often. And when you just recognize yourself and accept yourself for how you are, you know that you shouldn't be any different than what you are. Resentment gets cured because when you accept yourself the way you are, you naturally accept your husband the way he is, and you don't hold his actions or his feelings against him or against you. Right? And so when all of those feelings have dropped out of the equation, your desire is no longer being suppressed by the negative emotions, and it naturally increases. When you fully step into acceptance, all the negative emotions fall out of the equation, opening up a path for you to have sex just because you want to, or because that's the kind of wife you want to be, or because you enjoy it. So you might be thinking, how? How do I do this? How do I accept myself? And I'm going to give you one really simple assignment. I want you to come up with 25 reasons or ways that your sexual desire, your relationship, or just you the way you are is perfect. And I don't want you to just be like, it's okay, but it's perfect. I'm going to give you reason number 1. God created you and God is perfect. Therefore, the way you are is perfect. Now, come up with 24 more reasons why you're perfect exactly the way you are and you don't need to change, and that will give your brain a direction to go. This worked for me in a matter of hours. It's worked for some of my clients, and I'm confident it will help you as well. If you have any questions about any part of this video, please reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram at Danita Bremer Coaching. If this video resonated with you and you want to learn more, I invite you to join me on a free consultation call where we can see if working more closely with me is the next step to improving the intimacy in your marriage. On this call, I'll ask you where you are right now and where you want to be in the future, and I'll show you what you need to do to get there. This call will be more than worth the time you put into it, and it could be the very thing that changes the trajectory of your marriage. I am super passionate about helping wives love their sex lives. I believe it's a God-given gift that we're not taking advantage of, and I hope you will give me a chance to work with you by signing up for a free consult call. I look forward to seeing you on my calendar.